Are you ready to reinvent yourself? If you answered yes to that, I'm so excited for you. Recently, I asked some of you guys what are some topics or questions you would want me to cover on my channel. And I did get in some people with their request of their questions or topics. So this video is dedicated to you. And if you weren't one of the people who put in these suggestions, I hope that the stuff I discuss today will still be of benefit for you in your life. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And if you're new, welcome. On this channel, I discuss topics on how you could start living your life full of peace, passion, and purpose. So if that's what you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified every time I release a new video. In this video, I will be answering 5 questions or suggestions from you guys. So I hope this video is very helpful for you. Okay, so let's get right into it. The first one is how to deal with anxiety. For me, what I find to be helpful with my anxiety when I do feel anxiety is to meditate or pray. It really relaxes my brain and puts me at ease. Also, a big thing that helps me with my anxiety is listening to affirmations. What I'm gonna do is link in the description section below a few examples of what I would personally use to help me with my anxiety. And I personally use positive affirmations for anything I want to fix with my life. So if it's money, fitness, self-love, like I've used positive affirmations for all of these things. And it made such a big difference for me because it switched my mentality a lot. Also, what I like to do when I'm feeling anxious is to exercise. And one way I use is to dance my energy away, because I feel like when I have anxiety, it's all built up in my body and I need to release it. So exercising is a good way, at least for me, to release my anxiety. Another thing that helps with anxiety, or at least with my anxiety, was to be grateful for everything that I have. Gratitude is a very powerful technique to use when you're feeling anxiety because it allows you to focus on the now. When you're feeling anxious, it's probably because you're thinking about the past or the future, and you're not paying attention to the present moment. So just being grateful for what I have in the present moment and reflecting on what I have really helps me feel a lot better. Number 2, how to overcome sadness. For a big chunk of my life, I used to experience sadness, and I realized that I was suppressing a lot of my sadness, which ended up turning into anger. And what I found helpful for me was to just sit down with myself and realize why I was even feeling this sadness. And I allowed myself to just feel the sadness and not shame myself for feeling this way. When I was able to finally face why I was feeling sad, I found it so much easier just to let it go, which made it so much easier to focus on feeling happy and fulfilled, because that sadness was no longer lingering inside of me. I feel a lot of the times people like to suppress their so-called bad emotions, and that is very dangerous because those emotions are not going to leave just because you're suppressing them. They're staying inside of you and they're like skeletons in your closet. And the only way to actually deal with these emotions is to face these emotions. Understand why you feel them. You need to understand why you feel them. You need to sit down with yourself and realize there's a lot of things that could have occurred in your life that made you feel sad, and that's why you're sad right now. Number 3, how to be happy and show yourself love. A lot of the times we end up becoming unhappy and unsatisfied with our life because we are unconsciously living our life thinking about other people. As we grow up, we're taught that being selfish is a bad thing and we shouldn't be thinking about ourselves, but we should be thinking about others. Which is really sad, because if we're constantly thinking about other people, that means we're never really thinking about what is it that is going to keep us happy. I'll give you a little example of this. So I am a Punjabi woman who is slowly reaching her 30s, and by now in my culture I should have been married already and probably should have been having kids. But for me, I know that's not the life I want. And now my mom is always talking about marriage, and every single day she brings it up. And she is hella disrespectful about the life choices me and my siblings are making with our life, because she thinks we're being selfish because we're not fulfilling her needs, which is kind of sad because she's looking at us to fulfill her happiness. And I think that's so unfair, because we're all put in this life to fulfill our own happiness, to fulfill our own desires. So she gets upset all the time saying, oh, all these other kids are listening to their parents and getting married, blah, 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 blah. And this is a constant thing, like every single day she talks about it. So I either had to make the decision to live my life on my terms, to make myself happy, or I create a false reality trying to make my mom happy by getting married and having children and living that also happy life, which I know I'm not going to be happy if I do that. So sometimes we do have to be selfish in this life, and we have to think about ourselves, because if I end up getting married at this time, I know I'm not going to be happy. I know I'm going to be destructive because of that. So sometimes you do have to think about yourself, you know what I mean? It is what it is, and loving yourself is not always easy, because you are going to get people who don't agree with you, who are not going to be happy that you are picking yourself over other people. And you just have to make that decision for yourself. It's either your happiness or someone else's happiness. And when you make that decision to make yourself happy, you have to start doing the things that are going to show your self-love. You're gonna have to start doing techniques and practices that are gonna make you fall in love with yourself, because as we grow up, we're not taught to learn how to love ourselves. So there's a lot of things that we don't know about the topic of self-love because we're not taught it. So if you're very serious about loving yourself, you're gonna have to sometimes go the hard route of life and do things that people are just not going to agree with, and it's okay. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with the backlash that you're going to get for loving yourself. So yeah, once you make that decision, you have to do stuff that is going to show your self-love. So for example, you're going to have to do practices like mirror work, read books that are going to teach you how to love yourself. You're going to have to do like positive affirmations. You're going to have to make decisions that you want to make for your life. Maybe you want to start a business and that's what's going to keep you happy. Then you got to do that. Like, you got to make choices that are going to make you happy. If you agree with the idea that you do have to sometimes put yourself first to live a happy and fulfilling life, please comment down below. Number 4, how to deal with situations in a healthy way. I strongly believe that when you allow yourself to express yourself in a creative way, it really allows you to let go of emotions and situations in a healthy way. Now, some of you might be sitting there thinking to yourself that you're not a creative person or you don't have a creative talent. But let me tell you something, you do. Every one of us does. All of us have a talent, a hidden talent if you don't know your talent. And sometimes all you gotta do is explore yourself to find that. I know for me, I always used to think I did not have a creative bone in my body. But what allowed me to actually find my creativity was to explore myself, was to explore what I liked and didn't like. And I had to do a lot of activities to find out what it is that I liked. So sometimes some of us are not lucky to know our creativeness, is creativeness a word? Our creative ability. I think creativeness is a word. But anyways, sorry. Okay, so yeah, you do have to explore yourself if you don't know that. And I would also recommend that you start journaling. When you start journaling, it's really a good way and a healthy way to express yourself, because it allows you to write down all the stuff that's in your head, that's clouded in your head, onto a paper. And once you see your words written and your thoughts written on a paper, it really allows you to see what your thoughts are really trying to express to you. And it's also very, very powerful for you to write and see your own words. It's a very powerful technique to do that. So yes, I would recommend you start journaling if you don't yet know what your creative ability is. Number 5, how to deal with a friend who is going through a hard time and always being negative. Now, in some situations, we have to really be understanding to where this friend is at their point of their life. For example, maybe this friend just went through a bad breakup and they're constantly talking about it. If it's a fresh situation, we have to be completely understanding to this. We have to understand that people need time to heal and grow. And they do need to talk about their situations to express themselves. And all we could do is be there for them and be understanding. Now, on the other hand, if this friend is constantly going in and out of bad situations and dragging you into it, and is never doing anything to actively improve their life, then you have to make the decision whether you want this friend in your life or not. And if you decide this person is someone you don't want to be around anymore, then you have to start taking the actions of distancing yourself from them or just cutting them out of your life. I hope this video was helpful, and if you would like more videos like this, please let me know. I am going to link my Instagram down below. You can reach out to me there. I also have created a free guide on spiritual healing, and if you're interested in that, go ahead and grab it. It's down below. Please like this video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe. That would really make my day. What are some takeaways you got from this video? Please let me know in the comment section. Peace and love.